Hello, everyone. We are here, Jeanette and Kevin Rayborn, independent Optavia coaches. We are either your coach directly or we are partnered with your coach. So we wanted to hop in here and talk a little more about element 2.
Element 2, and kind of going back a little bit to element 1, knowing your why is very important. It all speaks to your motivation and how ready you are for change. But now that we know what your motivation is, we're going to start implementing a strategy on what you want to work on.
Absolutely. And so in our world, we talk about the definition of the word decision. Decision practically means to cut away. In our world, it means to cut away a habit or an item or a coping skill that isn't serving you and your health well. So we want to ask you the question first. Have you made the decision that you are ready to make lifelong change? It's our goal as coaches to have you move forward and have this be the last time you ever do a program where you're working towards losing weight, correcting your blood sugar, whatever the case is for you, okay? Whatever your goals are, we want this to be the last time. We want to work ourselves out of a job, frankly.
Absolutely, and it's important to say that you're in control. That is a power that you have over all of these things we're going to talk about. You're going to be the hero of your story, and we're going to guide you, or your coach will guide you, depending on who you're talking with. So that now that we kind of understand your motivation and you're ready for change, what are we going to work on? So we're going to talk about the 6 macro habits that are outlined by Dr. Anderson in his Habits of Health book. The 6 macro habits are healthy weight management, healthy eating and hydration, healthy motion, healthy sleep and energy management, healthy mind, and also healthy surroundings.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So we're going to pick 3 for now because we aren't going to dive into all of this at once. Rome was not built in a day, guys. Mm-hmm. So we're going to pick 3 to work on, and we're going to step forward and start gaining some momentum. Mm-hmm. Does that sound familiar?
Correct.
And so we're going to go at your pace. Your momentum is going to be built on a regular basis, but it's not going to be at our pace. It's going to be at your pace. Like Kevin said earlier, you are going to be the hero of your story. You're going to accomplish these goals. We're just here to support you and guide you along the way.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to say this, that they're all tied together. Now, we mentioned there's 6 macro habits here, but if you focus on one of those, you're going to find when that one improves, it's going to be directly tied to the next one and the next one. And you're going to soon discover that they're all tied together.
Right. I didn't realize how much I needed to work on sleep until when I got my nutrition and hydration in check, and suddenly I wasn't staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. most nights and was falling asleep within 5 minutes of putting my head on the pillow. So, and that was just such a change for me in my health of just being able to go to sleep so at a decent time and when I wanted to.
And I think when you tie it all back to how do you use this and what is the mindset that around these macro habits, is that we want you to understand that this is not all about food. When we mention these macro habits, healthy mind, healthy sleep, healthy surroundings, that doesn't mention food at all. So I think there's a lot of you and a lot of people that are our clients that we've had that have been on these diets, right? Mm-hmm. To where it's all about the food. It only focuses on food. When there is so much more to going on this healthy journey to improve our mental state, to improve our energy, to improve so many things that tie to our healthy lifestyle.
Right. And the fact of the matter is nutrition is necessary. We have to get our nutrition under control in order to get our health under control. That's not optional, but what we do with our program and what the fuelings are for and what you need to recognize at this point in your journey is that they are a tool. They are a tool to get you where you want to go and to create and develop the new habits of eating 6 times a day and taking emotion away from the food. So the next thing I want to bring up with you is triggers. One of the things we've learned through working on, what are we ready to work on now is by focusing with clients and on ourselves on what are the triggers that cause us to abandon ship, right? To fall off and say, I can't take life today. The drive-through is the answer. Well, for some of you, that might be sleep. Imagine you wake up, you haven't slept all night, or maybe you've only had a few hours of sleep, and you're on your way to work, and all of a sudden you see that Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, and the next thing you know, you're in the drive-through getting that sugary coffee and a donut, right? So that can be a trigger. That can be something that you recognize, that when I'm tired and I'm worn out, I'm more likely to make a decision that doesn't serve me well. That can work with other things like emotions. You know, I've had clients before where frustration is a trigger, right? I'm a boredom eater, frankly. That's a me problem. If I'm not busy, I might be a little extra hungry, and it's not real. Okay, so identifying the triggers that cause us to fall back on our unhealthy habits that aren't serving us well is super important at this point in the journey. And what you can do right now is look at past experiences when you have done programs or diets, because a lot of the programs that all of us have done prior to this are that. We're not that. But you know, looking back on those experiences and identifying what triggers tripped you up. Also, just looking back on the last few weeks. You've been doing this for 2 or 3 weeks at this point, and I'm gonna guess that most of you haven't been perfect, because remember, we don't expect that. That's an unreal expectation. So if you haven't been perfect, look back, talk to your coach, journal about what was the thing that happened. Was it failing to plan? Was it an emotional thing? Were you tired? Think about what those triggers are, okay?
Jeanette, what do you, as much experience as you've had and I've had, like I want to ask you the question, what do you think of the top 3 that typically come to the forefront in the beginning when you're first talking to clients?
So clearly we're all working on weight management, right? And for most of us, the vast majority of us, that starts with healthy eating and hydration. I would have to say that the most common thing that we've come across that people need to work on, and actually the book kind of almost leads you there, is healthy mind. And as surprising as that is, you know, healthy mind is such a big component into feeling on the day-to-day motivated to contend for your own goals. Okay.
A lot of things that play into that: stress, drama. And
exactly.
Things like that.
Exactly. I mean, if we're living our life feeling like life is happening to us and we're under a lot of stress, then, you know, that is a catalyst for, I'm going to go out and have drinks and eat burgers and French fries. That is something that has become the norm in our society for coping. And so we address that in these books that we have, or by talking with your coach and journaling. There's multiple ways to work through our system.
So here's the homework. Here's the challenge. As we've kind of gone through element 2, take a look at these 6 macro habits. Which 3 do you feel that you need to work on first? Or, as Jeanette said, which one has triggered you?
Which one?
In the beginning?
If you think about them and you read through them, you're going to have some of them that you're going to feel it a little bit. We talk about this a lot. You're going to feel, you know, it's going to be like, ooh, that one kind of hurt. That one kind of hurt. Well, that's a big, you know, indicator that might be something that you need to work on next. And so again, talk with your coach, get with them, start labeling those triggers. One other challenge I have for you is, if something pops up, text your coach in the moment and say, this happened, we need to talk about it. Maybe they can talk right then and there, or maybe it's a matter of scheduling a call for later. But if you text them in the moment and say, this is what happened and I need to work through this, then you're going to start thinking, and then they're going to be prepared to help you.
So the challenge, like I said, send us the 3 that you feel that you need to work on most, and we'll talk.
Absolutely. Have a good day.